Gama jobet mega bravo Inglisi da. De gas memen de vila parako English surat. Imitom rom shevam shnie am kviras. Iko Zalian Beverly Achali Ambebi Sakorvelos Economicus tvis Magram Rogos Kovotvis Informatia di Britannici Europa și Ares Dezinformatia Propaganda Amiscamo English surat mai minda gitra rom. We see today that English language news has been referring to revolution, demonstrations. And today I saw one NGO activist say that if in November or December one of the demonstrators had been killed, then perhaps the government would have been overthrown. Ever since the new government came to power in 2012, the NGOs have been formulating a plan to regain control without an election. Previously, the barely spoken idea that if someone could get killed, if there was a case of someone being killed in a demonstration, someone dying in a demonstration, this would be very beneficial for the NGO activists. In 2019, we saw a breakaway group of grown men of military age and training, armed with staves, attack the police during the Gavrov night incident. Police had their helmets ripped from their heads. Any military person will understand how dangerous this is. And they were beaten with 1 meter staves. 83 policemen went to jail. Many, many innocent students were caught in the crossfire. November of this year, we saw fireworks being modified into firearms. What is a firearm? It's a projectile weapon that can be aimed, often using gunpowder, a firearm. When we see the amount of planning and control that went into the attack on the police using these weapons, we understand that the provocation is intended to result in violence and perhaps even death. I think it's time for the donors to these organizations to understand that an audit trail does exist, as we've seen now in the United States. They can be found. I think that the hysterical reaction to the American-based Foreign Agent Registration Act is in part, perhaps, because the donors are terrified of getting a trail exposed through to radical NGOs who are engaged in violence. I hope that this is wrong, but all the facts on the ground and all the revelations following Elon Musk's investigations into US aid suggest that this is at least possible, many would say probable, that there are links between the violent NGOs and Western donors in Europe. We need to be very careful. It is clear that Georgia is a democracy. It is clear that the opposition lacks leadership, is comprised mainly of criminals, and that they do not have political support. In situations like this, I think the responsibility of the EU, of the West, is to reduce tensions. A significant weakness is the lack of unbiased English language news, which is almost entirely controlled by George Soros's NGOs and is not transparent. I'll try to address some of these issues in future. Meanwhile, Georgia continues to be the fastest growing economy, more or less. In Europe, it continues to be highly attractive to Europeans, particularly British people, perhaps thinking of investing in Dubai or Spain with all the inherent problems there. Georgia is a buy. Nach Juan des Mego Brebo, Inglesi dan, Gargarichavit, Usbech, nu usment, corrumpirabuliara samtabro organizatiebis, de culebs propagandas desinformatia, sacorvelos, midis, tsin, sarmatibas.